So let's start off with doing this right.
Hmm. Oh,
What is this? It's a chocolate chip muffin. And we also have Hada. Hey, Hada, what's happening in Melee? This is a third take. We had one scuffed recording on Saturday. We just had a 3-minute scuffed recording just now, but this is the real time, I hope. This is going to be the real time where we talk about all the craziest things that happened this weekend. We missed out on some of it on Saturday. That's why we're doing it again. I really appreciate it. Hada, how's it going?
it's going all right. There's some developments in my personal life. I literally just got off shift. I got off work. I'm still in my work clothes. I'm also releasing a comment video tonight. And the reason we had the second scuffed recording is I forgot that my recording software pulls like 99% of the capability of my PC. For some reason, it's just I either need to upgrade my PC, downgrade my editing software, or both. But regardless, it totally toasted it when I tried to also record the podcast and have that run in the background. It was not a smart thing to do. But regardless, say we're here and we have lots to talk about, man. We have Black Empowerment Melee Invitational. We have the postponement of Double Down and this huge EVO announcement that kind of rocked the greater FGC community, for lack of a better term. But how are we going to get started here?
You know what? We did one way last time. This time we're going to switch it up once again. Let's talk with the EVO news. This is the whole reason why we are recording this again, the Melee news happenings of the week. So on Saturday, EVO makes an announcement on their official Twitter, and I will actually read most of it verbatim because I have it saved here. Please join us March 8th at 5 p.m. PST on twitch.tv/EVO for the EVO 2022 announcement show. While we're thankful for all the amazing games joining us later this year in Las Vegas, we want to let you know in advance that Super Smash Bros. Will not be making a return appearance. Since 2007, we've seen historic Super Smash Bros. Moments created at EVO's events. We are saddened that Nintendo has chosen not to continue that legacy with us this year. In the future, we hope to once again celebrate the Super Smash Bros. Community alongside them. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the oh my gosh, okay was my part.
Yeah.
End quote. Nintendo is once again doing the thing, and scoring the points is the wrong way to phrase it, but they're making me sad. Hada, I have so many things I want to say, but I'll let you start because I read the whole thing. So you go first. I'm gonna start on this puppy here.
Well, we got the chocolate chip muffin rolling, but most importantly, I think, as I was reading it for the first time on my own Twitter feed, I was, halfway through, and I'm like, God, EVO shafting us again. We're not gonna make the lineup. They're even telling us beforehand not to get excited. Unbelievable. And then I'm like, it's because Nintendo doesn't want to work with us, and I'm like, oh. It's like we keep going back to that ex that did us wrong over and over and over again, and they keep telling us, we got you next time. We've changed, we swear. And then they keep sleeping with our best friend over and over and over again. It's super messed up every single time. We keep putting trust in them that we get some good out of it, and then all of a sudden we got nothing. And a lot of people are theorizing that they don't want to either one split time with Sony, having two major tech corporations being the big names at EVO. Of course, Sony being the figurehead because they purchased the rights to EVO, or that they've already committed a huge amount to the PG circuit, which of course I'm still not getting my hopes up about. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm very much so a cynicist when it comes to thinking about this PG circuit. Something's going to go wrong. Some drama is going to go by the wayside, and they're going to, press the thumb on our connective back of our necks, pinning us to the ground once again. And we're going to be like, oh, we get a circuit, but it's super scuffed. There's going to be something wrong with it. And now we don't even have EVO to lean back on to be, that mecca, that super big crowning achievement. Because when you think back to it, the true gamers in the Melee community, the people who actually think about like Melee as beyond just Melee, like as a esport, as a career, as a job, and even better as a true fighting game, you don't look no farther than Leffen. And Leffen wasn't the guy that's like, I'm gonna win Genesis, I'm gonna win Big House, I'm gonna win Shine, I'm gonna win SmashCon, which are arguably bigger and more important tournaments for the Smash community. He goes, no, I'm gonna win EVO. I'm gonna be an EVO champion, because in the grand scheme of things, if you're an EVO champion, you're greater than the Smash community. You've transcended all the notoriety that you can drive from being one of the best Smash players in the world. There are so few people in the world who can say they're an EVO champion. Leffen can say that about multiple games now. And now that I think about it, it breaks my heart to think that we're not going to have more EVO champions crowned, because we have it's Ken from 2007. We have Mango, HBox, or Armada splitting the general populace of the rest of them, and then finishing it off with Big Wumbo William, Big Left, crowning us off as the final melee at EVO. And then thinking even towards the Ultimate community, there was only one Ultimate EVO, and Leo came in, won it through losers in a really dramatic fashion over Tweak, and then came out as the EVO champion, the first and last Ultimate EVO champion. And I would love to see one of the new rising stars from Ultimate claim an EVO title. I would love to see someone dethrone Leo at his most consistent, dominant tournament series. Leo has been so crazy consistent in EVO. I don't think he's placed lower than third at any EVO he's gone to. But again, I'm not the craziest Ultimate statistician, but you know, I just it breaks my heart, man. It really does. It wasn't the biggest tournament for me, but it's just the notoriety. It's that huge, bright, shining gold star on the top of your resume. Like, I'm an EVO champion, and no Smash player is gonna have that ever again.
Yes, I appreciate Evo's optimism that next year will be different, because maybe they're thinking, well, Nintendo's only going to they're only going to want to run one PG circuit in allyship with the Panda Esports org. Okay, let's start with this. Why would Nintendo want to do something like this? Okay, the first thing that you can think of is Nintendo wants to concentrate on their own thing. They want to put all of their effort and time and resources, aka money, into the Panda X Nintendo circuit for North America in particular. Okay, sure. So what does that have to do with EVO? Think about it. All tournaments until this year, supposedly, have been run not on the dime of Nintendo, not even to the tiniest fraction of a degree, because most of the time when we hear about sponsorships for big tournaments like Genesis or the Big House, sponsorships basically mean the tournament organizers are forced to run Splatoon ads, are forced to run ARMS ads or Pokemon ads. Not truly, oh yeah, we're going to throw you $50,000, the Big House, pat on the back. You have really kept the scene going. No, it's more of like, you will run our ads and get no money. And we're not going to really help out with setups. Oh, also, we want half of your vendor floor, and we're not going to really, you're not going to make any money off of that either. You're welcome. So this is ridiculous, because EVO would obviously take on all the costs, all the liability, this, that, or the third, because they know that EVO has such a big part of success owed to the Smash community. Some of the biggest events that EVO has ever seen, and not that it's all Smash, okay? The other fighting games have had rich history with EVO, going back even further than Smash Brothers, because the first time was 2007, and EVO's gone back to maybe like 2000 or something. So it's not all Smash, but some of the biggest moments, you think about Hungrybox, you think about Armada, you think about Mango, those wins, especially from 2013 to 2018, were some of the most watched events. And then later with Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate, like you said, Smash Ultimate at EVO in 2019 had over 3,000 entrants. I think it might have even been like 3,500. It was insane. And so EVO, of course, wants to have a big part of their tournament there accounted for, all the people, all the viewers, people like viewing it from home up into the 250,000s, 250,000 live concurrent viewers. That's such a big deal. So Nintendo goes, well, we don't really want to divert attention away from our thing, and we want control. I think that's what it ultimately comes down to, because generally speaking, from what we can tell from the very little teeny tiny crumbs that we pick up here and there, such as EVO saying themselves, this is Nintendo. We wanted to have at least one Smash game at EVO, if not two. I mean, hey, Pokimane was going to team up with Ludwig and bring us Melee back at EVO, right? Supposedly not, because not even Pokimane's call. Nintendo does not want to work with Sony. Nintendo doesn't work with Smash in general. because I liken this to bathwater. Last example. This is a weird example, but what's going to happen if you pour more water into a bathtub? So what? You have more water. Everyone's happy. I don't understand what the problem is with having two super awesome big tournaments, one put on by Sony that happens to have Smash and one put on by Nintendo. What are you worried about? It makes to me, it makes no sense. I need to take a break. I'm turning it back over to you.
Yeah, it's definitely just a really confusing time, especially if you're not sitting in those boardrooms, you're not making those big corporate decisions. And I'm sure there's got to be some sort of I'm giving a lot of benefit of the doubt that Nintendo's just not being a bully on the playground, being like, sorry, this is my toy and you can't have it, sort of thing. We're already, taking them and doing their fancy little circuit, which again, I'm still very skeptical. I don't think it's gonna be that great. Again, crossing my fingers, I hope it's phenomenal, but zero expectations. Um and I hope to God that the PG circuit is worth losing Evo, because regardless of Melee not being at the last Evo, it was still good for the Smash community as a whole, because we will, even as the Melee community, we still will get those random Ultimate kids that are like, oh, Melee is pretty big at my local. Let me enter Melee. I know I'm going to my first local after watching Tweak win Evo 2022 for Smash Ultimate, and I'm gonna go to this local, and it's gonna be super fun. Oh, wait, there's Melee. I played that as a kid. Let me go enter that. I have my GameCube controller. Ain't no thing. And then you get some adjacent Melee viewership. You get some adjacent Melee players, sponsorships, etc. Just by having a Smash title, people will be like, "Wait, this game's kind of cool." But wait, why is there one from 2001 still so active and so popular? It drives the question. It drives conversation, even if Melee's not even there. So, in the grand scheme of things, I really just don't see the loss for Nintendo, for, just like you said at the beginning of your piece. It's a very grassroots feel where Nintendo's never shelled out big dollars to help us run events. It's not a money problem. It's literally an ego problem. It's a legal problem. And I hope to God there's an actual legal explanation that they can't have us at Evo. By the way, hi cat.
Shout out to
Um,
Cat.
yeah, that's Breakfast. That's my cat. Her name is Breakfast, and yes,
I
my
love
cat
you,
is named Breakfast.
breakfast.
God, she's so cute. But anyway, yeah. So I hope to God there's an actual reasonable legal explanation for all of this, because she knows she's on camera. That makes me mad. But anyway, it's absolutely wild to me that this is even a conversation that we have to have. It's like, yeah, but they're focusing on PG circuit. It's like, no, they're not. They're just don't want to share the floor with Sony, and that's literally all I can think of it reasonably being, because there's definitely not a money problem involved.
It makes no sense. We're all just sitting around like going, there's no reason for this. There's no reason for this that we can understand from our perspective, the consumer perspective, of why this would be necessary, because you can't, like, the ideals of Nintendo's company values, like a family-friendly company selling cool games. Okay, cool. What does that have to do with running video game tournaments? Because that's not going to be their biggest piece ever. They're never going to be that company that is catering to the hardcore audience. They've made that clear for the better part of 2 decades now. Okay, so if somebody else wants to do it, and we're not broadcasting, I don't know, NC-17 content alongside of Mario and everything else, I don't understand, and I'm very upset. And I will continue to be upset. So there's this whole thing about how most Nintendo people who get angry at Nintendo just turn around and buy their products. Not me. No, I'm not going to financially support Nintendo. I don't pay for Nintendo Online. I haven't paid for a new Nintendo game. So you can at least look at me and say, that person deprives themselves very pathetically. They're $60 here and there. Nintendo's really going to be missing that. Yeah, they're not going to be missing it. Why would they care about a couple of more $100,000? Because they're a $1 billion company. Why would they care about that if somebody else wants to put that kind of an investment into a tournament? Just imagine if they just left us alone. And I think that's what most of the Smash community says. They say, I would just prefer if Nintendo just stayed out of it altogether. The Ultimate community is hopefully picking up on some of this, by the way. Hada, this is the first time that they've been told no, I think, in their entire lifetime so far, because all the DLC is out. Dead game, right? I mean, the
Dead
fact
game.
that Ultimate is not even able to be at EVO, that's kind of telling. That's kind of concerning because unless there's another Smash game coming out, what if Nintendo's like, well, Sakurai's not making another Smash game. We're not going to come out with another Smash game for our next system because maybe this isn't worth the hassle. It's great money, but maybe this isn't worth the hassle. Maybe this is our last Smash game for a system or two. I don't know. That's probably not going to happen. There will be another Smash game. It makes too much money. But all that to say, the marketing angle, that makes no sense to them. So I guess you could say theoretically, there's nothing new to promote for Smash. So why would we endorse more Smash events to be run, especially since, again, our reputation as a family-friendly company is out there on the line because of all these sweaty gamers wanting to decide who is the best by having fair, no items, no hazard stages. That's ridiculous. So Ultimate experiencing some of the pain, some of the Daddy Nintendo hurt us, and this will probably happen again since there are other big events that are happening this summer. We haven't heard anything about Shine being a thing yet, but I know that in July there's supposed to be Double Down, and we'll talk about that in a second. And there's also supposed to be SmashCon in August, SmashCon in Chantilly, Virginia. So those are two really big historical sized events. I guess Double Down is the spiritual successor to the Royal Flush tournament, but it's being put on by VGBC. It will be a big tournament. It'll at least be a major. So this is all kind of concerning for where they decide to go as far down the line as they need to say, hey, we're going to be the center focus here. Nothing else is happening that's a big scale tournament series except for our thing. I hope that isn't what it turns out to be. But I guess since they started with the biggest one, that would be EVO. Because you're right, like you said, Hada, EVO is the biggest thing. I mean, of course you want to say you're an EVO winner. That's a great thing to put onto your resume. It captures more than just the Smash community. It captures the entire fighting game community. So maybe that's where they stop because it's Sony, because it's the biggest one. But who's to say they're not going to start looking up, okay, what's the next biggest tournament series? Okay, Double Down, SmashCon? Yeah, you get out of the way. Summer's ours, okay? You could do whatever you want in the winter when the virus is at its all-time peak each and every winter and blah, blah, blah. I'm really nervous about that kind of stuff going down too at the moment.
Right. And I think you made a very good point where at the grand scheme of things, we don't want, like, we just want hands off. Like, you can be, the shadow in the back of the corner. Yes, you made the game. Congratulations. You made one of the best games I've ever played in my whole life. Good on you, Nintendo. 2001 Matsuhiro Sakurai, absolutely depraved, coffee-ridden. Those coders were real upset. Hello, cat. Sorry, she's really cute. But anyway, awesome to see, that you made a great game. Big ups. Love that. But we have endured and we've existed without you holding our hand for so long. Why does Nintendo continue to insist that we can't exist without them? And I feel like that's the mentality where this decision comes from. It's like, okay, we are the deciding factor. You really need us. You need our endorsement. You need our sponsorships. You need our this. It's like, in the grand scheme of things, we can get 2,000 CRTs out of Blur's garage, take them to Las Vegas in a U-Haul truck, and figure it out. It's not that difficult. Gimmer can show up with his laptop and his mics and his headphones that are uncomfortable, and there will be commentators there to fill the seats. There'll be commentators there to make those moments, and the players will come. We don't need Nintendo to fly out our top players. We're just gonna do it ourselves. Cloud9 will do it for us. Team Liquid will do it for us. TSM will do it for us. Like, we have such a great infrastructure already without the use of Big Daddy Nintendo. And but selfishly, if we had a relationship with our parent company, like CS:GO has with Valve, like Halo has with Microsoft, like Activision had with the Call of Duty circuits for so long, where they fully endorsed, pumped money, pumped prize pots, secured amazing venues, amphitheaters, and amazing stage and production value to make those majors, give them a concert beforehand, have Riot, make you music videos, animate anime girls and champions and whatever the heck Riot's doing anymore. I play League. League's great, but whatever. Riot fully endorses their competitive esports audience, and that's their main selling point. We are a competitive game. we love our competitive audience. Yes, people casually play League. A ton of people are silver, bronze, iron, awful casual players. And that's the majority of the player base. But we're going to focus on that top 1%. Because when you play a competitive game, which Smash, at least Melee for certain, people don't play Melee casually anymore. Not anymore. It is a competitive game, it is a fighting game. And if you can fully invest that, the whole point of playing this game anymore is to strive to be that top 1%, is to strive to be on your local PR, is to get that combo video clips, is to make content, is to do a podcast with your friend on the weekends once a week. That's an investment you can make and you can foster. And it's like keeping a plant alive. Put us in the sun, give us a little water, and leave us the fuck alone, man. It's not hard. It's really not hard.
So where do we go from here? The answer is, as per usual, for the Melee people who have gone through this ever since the beginning of time, before most of the Ultimate kids were born, basically the idea is proceed cautiously forward, as per usual. I guess some of the reactions to this is just like business as usual. Nintendo hates us. We're just going to have to keep it moving. And like you said with the whole plant analogy, Nintendo's tried to like shove us under a drawer hoping, oh gosh, please die, and then pulls us out and somehow we mutated again and they go, oh fuck, no. So
we are now cave fungus. We live
yes.
in the dark. We feed off scum.
So that's the whole thing.
And keep us in the dark.
We just have to keep surviving as per usual. Another angle, of course, is Ludwig once again. It's a meme at this point. I would rather have Ludwig, instead of Ludwig tweeting out, yo, Smash, I got you. I'd rather Ludwig say, yo, Smash, I finally have enough money to go after Nintendo.
Ludwig buys Nintendo. Unbelievable.
Ludwig buys the intellectual property rights to be able to stream tournaments whenever the heck we want to. That would be so cool.
I actually wonder, wonder how much the IP rights to Melee are. Is there a figure out there?
It's going to be an exuberantly high amount on Nintendo's part to ever part away with even one games. But theoretically, Melee has no third-party characters. They're all property of Nintendo. I guess Donkey Kong might be the exception because Donkey Kong's technically rare, I guess. But he's in every single Nintendo game. I don't think that they would have such a... Yeah, okay, all that to say, if we put a number on it, Nintendo, you've heard this before too, right? Where they were approached by MLG, please let us stream Melee, please let us stream Brawl, Smash 4, please. And Nintendo said, okay, $50K per tournament. That's what I heard at some point. I think the Anonymous Smasher, I think that's where I heard it from, that Twit Longer that came out near the end of 2020. Even if that's not true, to be able to stream Melee and have that be owned by either Ludwig or Gimmer or Beyond the Summit, one of the bigger streaming peoples that do all the Melee events for us, at least I should say the big ones. If that number were less than $20 million, I would be super surprised. That's at least a starting number, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to stream this game with no legal repercussions, you can have UCF, you could do Animelee during top 8, you can have corporate logo sponsors in the background of Pokemon Stadium, you could do whatever you want.
So
$20 million. I think that would be like the lowest number I could see them going with. So that to me does not seem realistic. But Ludwig running the biggest tournament of all time, either in Las Vegas or somewhere else in the United States sometime this year in the year of 2022, that's a good start. I almost wonder if he announces is like he knows it's happening, but he only tells the public 2 weeks in advance so that Nintendo could has very limited options on what they can do in terms of trying to pull the plug.
That'd be outrageous, but those
airplane
I love
tickets.
everyone's sitting on like an extra $800. Like, where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Southwest.com is booted up at all times. Anyway, shout out to Southwest, I guess. But thinking about tournaments, man. Not only do we have Tournamentscape coming around for the summer of Smash, but another big development in the past week was Double Down, which is going to be, like you said, the spiritual successor to Royal Flush, that casino-esque environment tournament, actually getting pushed back to July. So a lot of people who were kind of feeling a little claustrophobic with those 6 weeks where there was 3 major tournaments in a row, a lot of people picking and choosing, I've heard there's a lot of signs of relief, and of course, the people who have financially invested to head to double down already, still kind of beating themselves up about it. Hopefully, can get them their flights, hotels, venue, etc. refunded or at least passed on and rescheduled to that July date. I know that for me personally, that July date works a lot better for me. I would love to go to Double Down. Dan's Demand, aka rank one in Nevada in Melee, and I think top 10 in Ultimate as well. He's just a gamer. Really close friend of
Ooh.
mine. Would love to go out to Las Vegas to see my friend. And go into a big tournament as well for the first time in a long time would be great. And July definitely works better for me. So if any of you guys homies trying to head to Double Down in July, you might hang out with Hada, be a good time, get a beer, go to the bar, have a burger, see some Melee. I'm down.
All hopefully very, very safely as well. That would be the other angle, of course, for delaying back Double Down. But Gimmer definitely said, "Hey, this can be our Evo," and I know that Gimmer is saying that because it's his event, he wants it to succeed. But it's true. If it's in Las Vegas, it's in the summertime. I mean, come on. For me, I don't think I'll be going to Double Down, the big tournament I will be going to. Since I announced this the last time we recorded, that got scratched. Is I will be going to Pound. So that's near the end of April. It's right after Genesis. So it will be a back-to-back thing. There are a lot of people going to Genesis, so I'm not expecting to see a ton of people at Pound per se. I just hope that some of the big players decide to go crazy like Ginger. I imagine Ginger will be at Pound at the very least.
Yeah.
I feel bad saying that. I'm just assuming that. But then again, I did see a tweet. Ginger's planning on going to as many tournaments as he can. So hopefully Pound. I will be there. I'll be there to go 0-2 and then do content, cheer on everybody, top 8, all that stuff, be going down with some friends. So it's very exciting to have that kind of plan in place, even if we don't know exactly what COVID's going to be like at that time. Is hopefully as safe as possible, follow protocols, do all that stuff too. This is important. I know, especially Melee, and I guess Ultimate too, since their online sucks, but we all really love playing Smash in person. That there's a certain feeling that you get when you're playing next to the person on the same CRT or on the same monitor, depending on your preferences, and you get to have those moments together. And on a Discord call and on a good computer, which I don't have presently, you can have those kind of. But Hada, you can speak to this so much better than I can. It's just not the same. Like I've gone to a few locals now, before the winter came in, and those were awesome. I mean, I can't wait until they start back up again, hopefully in the next month or so. We've just been holding off because, again, COVID stuff. But we really want to see all these events continue to happen and succeed in the summer, and that Nintendo just leaves them all alone. If you want to have EVO because it's PlayStation and Sony, fine. Jeez, back off. As much as I can say that a human who does not have many billions of dollars in my offshore accounts like you have, Nintendo, back off.
Yeah. Yeah, and I could definitely echo the sentiment of going to the local, playing with your friends, and then for me, coming up when I was an Ohio player, it was like, yeah, I loved going to the local and trying to play for fourth or third or whatever, and inevitably get double four stocked by Cal, regardless of how good I got. Now Esse's still a top player. Shout outs to Essie. Um, and then going to regionals and like getting absolutely mollywalked by the real thing and Flash and Dreffin and Hanky Panky. But the real thing about going to locals is all your friends are now right there. So you can go and you can go hang out at Canes for a few hours. You can go and cheer for your friends as well. They're still in bracket. And even if you bust her out, or even if you're playing amazing, you will have friends there to hang out with, make those relationships and make those memories. And honestly, trying to think of no greater memories and no pride for myself as a player than seeing two of my boys get top 4 at the Black Empowerment Melee Invitational. So, of course, Flash and the real thing getting second and fourth, respectively, two of the two best Falcos in Ohio, bar none. And of course, the real thing multiple times on the MIOM top 100 rank. And Flash, beating Ginger at Riptide, spawning the meme, Flash is greater than Ginger. And of course, if you know Flash, like you're an Ohio player, and if you know him on that level, Flash is a top 50 level player. Flash is so fucking good, man. He is so good. And then, a little bit of Texas pride in my heart. Got Billy Bo Peep taken first. A good friend of mine that I met at DreamHack Atlanta and multiple tournaments before had actually Full Bloom 2 was when I first met King Momo, placing 5th. Malachi, Peach, brother of mine, and Prometheus, one of my favorite Ganons to watch. So, and Salt, also Texas. So I actually love this entire top 8. I don't know Dewan that well. He's beaten me in 2 money matches. He's a really nice guy, but I don't know him like that. But 7 out of the top 8 are my homies. That's not too bad. Not too bad.
Great tournament series. So shout outs to I say at Young Waff on Twitter, but Brandon, we're talking about homemade waffles, for putting on another great Black Melee Empowerment Invitational. Just to continue to say, hey, the Black community that's within Smash has a real presence, talented players, is a spectrum, and there's lots to be positivity to be had, but also raising support for Black businesses and Black charities. So Brandon speaks so much more eloquently to this on the episode that he was on with Toph and PPMD on Radio Melee, so I highly suggest you all go check that out to hear from a natural person's voice in Brandon's to be able to speak better to it. But the performances of all these players for the top 8 in particular, or I should say top 12 on Sunday yesterday, super good games. I was really impressed with King Momo. I was really impressed with The Real Thing for going on a great losers run, just getting slightly edged out on a great losers run by Billy Bo Peep, who started the day in losers and went all the way through. Let's just recap this. 3-1 over Question, 3-0 over Malachi, that's Malachi, right?
Yeah, it was Messenger, but it's Malachi. Yeah, Malachi.
Right. And then Billy Bo Peep, 3-1 over Salt, 3-0 over The Real Thing, 3-0 over Shroomed, and then 3-1 versus Flash in set 1 of Grand Finals, 3-0 in the second set. Just absolutely crushing everybody. And I thought for sure that when Grand Finals started, Billy Bo Peep versus Flash is in winners, Billy Bo Peep coming out of losers, I thought there's a certain amount of steam that you're going to run out of eventually. I know that they haven't been close game 5 kind of sets in order to get there, but you started the day in losers all the way from top 12 getting up to Grand Finals. And Flash was playing super hot the whole weekend. There's no reason to assume 3-1, 3-0. I mean, Billy Bo Peep put on a show yesterday.
Yeah, Billy definitely a player that a lot of people tend to forget about, like how good they are. I know they kind of took a backseat during the majority of the Slippy era, but it's really cool to see them come back out and show up for the Black Empowerment Melee Invitational number 2. And again, like all these players are hitters, so it really speaks to volumes, how highly regarded every single one of these players in this top 8 are. I was watching the Captain Falcon roundtable brought out by Golden Guardians earlier this week, and all the Falcons spoke incredibly highly of Salt, and Kreestab Gaming's and Heartswap TV's own Salt. So I've seen a lot of Salt. I've commentated a lot on the Kreestab channel. So I've seen Salt absolutely run people over, and even saw something as crazy as he tweeted earlier this week that he got a literal perfect game of Melee. He had 4 openings, 4 kills.
Wow.
The theoretical perfect game of Melee where he hit someone and they died every single time.
That's so
and
cool.
I'm just
We're
like,
summoning Salt. I need to hear that narration.
oh my god, like Salt's a freak, man. He's outrageously fast, so technical, so proficient, and he's gonna be that next big Captain Falcon. I can fully expect that, and even the top Falcons are saying it. And of course, The Real Thing and Flash, I could talk about them all night. And Shroomed, top level talent, top 10 in the world for many, many years, and still, a top 30, top 40 level talent to this day, and has been a consistent top level Melee threat since Melee hit that esports title. And of course, Billy Bo Peep has been on the MIM top 100 rank at least once, maybe twice. But I don't think anyone saw this level of upset potential coming out of Billy this weekend, but we definitely were treated to quite a losers run and quite a show from him.
Great event for the weekend, and a little bit of the bright spot amongst all the, overall, I would say negative discourse regarding the EVO announcement, the Double Down postponement. Although, like you said, the spin zone on Double Down is you're going to be able to go to that more likely than you were before, and when it was sort of put on the back end of Genesis, Pound, Double Down. That was going to be tricky. So here's hoping. And then let's see, to sort of get in the direction of wrapping up, we can also talk about the anime corner a little bit that we had. I like that. I need you to recommend it to me again because I didn't go back and listen to our episode. As soon as I saw the announcement for EVO, I was like, oh no. But you recommended a fun little short series to me that I would like to check out. So give me that name again.
So yeah, that's Death Parade. It's Funimation. It's the idea, the synopsis of the theme of the show. It's a take on the afterlife, where there is a person who's in the judgment protocol, and they put two people in a situation where their true selves are put to the test, where they can display who they really are, and then they're decided whether to be, I believe it's reincarnated or sent to like eternal damnation, which is just basically a black void of emptiness where that's it, you're done, sort of thing. And it's a really interesting take. Every single episode is very different. It's a different pair of people that come in to be judged, and moral dilemmas and morality and becomes questioned every single time. Like, what does truly make someone evil? What makes someone good? What decisions inherently show the true colors of humanity? And it's taken from a very interesting perspective. Of course, the animation style is great, and the opening theme is a banger. It's sick. It's called Flyers, Flyers. If you want to check that out. But yeah, it's sick. It's a great track. It's my favorite anime. I can't say too much more about it. And if you guys, well, actually, we are re-recording, so no one saw. This will actually be the first anime corner of the week. So I'll have another recommendation for you guys next week.
Awesome. So for me, I don't have an anime recommendation per se. I'll just use this opportunity like I did on our first recording that I was talking about getting the Frame 1 controller during the pre-order that came out last weekend. All the controllers for the Frame 1 sold out in less than 3 minutes, but I did manage to snag one in that 3-minute window. Whew. Many disappointed people on the Discord. It is tough when you don't set that alarm, that reminder, and I'm like hounding my phone for 10 minutes. I'm doing practice runs through checkout, Hada, like just to make sure that I know exactly.
Get your clicks down.
Yes. Well, yeah, that, and also just knowing like, okay, they accept Apple Pay. Oh my gosh, that's going to make everything so much easier. Face recognition, boom, bought. Anyway, somebody messaged me and said, hey, I'll buy you a box controller because A, I think it's a better product. I think you should compare the two, and B, recommend this to the people. So I will do my part in that. It's a graphic novel project called The Eternal Project, or the Eternal. It's not the Eternals like Marvel. I'll link it in the description. Eternal Project. Basically, it's the question of what if God were on Earth or whatever. Kind of actually not the same exact thing as Death Parade, but just the whole thing about what happens when supernatural things happen. That's probably the best way to put it. I am not a big anime person myself. I stopped at Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, so I didn't really check it out all that much. So just go check it out if you want to. I'll just leave it at that. Now, to get in the direction of fully wrapping up here, I want to make sure that we give you the opportunity, Hada, to tell the people where to find you. For me, socials are all there on the screen. I normally do the podcast of Bottom of the Smash Mountain. This is a small little extension. I wanted Hada, someone like Hada. You have come out of the not raffle. When I first posted, I want to have like a consistent co-host person. You put the eyes emojis out there, and then I got back to you. You got back to me. Here we are. So I really appreciate it. I love being able to interview people, but I also love having a regular person to bounce off of. Hada, it's been super fun on our 2 official episodes, 2 unofficial episodes. It's been great so far. So tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm at Hey Hada on all my socials. That's HEYHADA on Twitch and Twitter. I stream anything from RuneScape to Melee to League to Pokemon shiny hunting to casual games like Scriblio with the All Chat Boys, and also shout out to All Chat Esports. They sponsor me in all my content creation and commentary endeavors. And if you guys want something cool, I'm planning on dropping a combo video literally tonight. So I'm literally have one last clip to edit in, and that's gonna be all good and ready to go. So if you guys want to check that out, it's gonna be on my YouTube channel. You just have to type in, just go to your YouTube search bar and search up like Hada Peach, and that'll probably pop up.
It'll probably be in the description of here because I would be able to put this out somewhat quickly, but of course, You have to export the video, and then I have to do timestamps because I committed myself to doing timestamps for this, and I hate myself. But apparently, timestamps help the algorithm. I don't know. Somebody told me
I
that.
think they do.
So I am still gonna do them. But somebody better comment down below. Aside from things that you want us to talk about on this upcoming week of what's happening with Hada and Melee, you better tell me you like the fact that I use timestamps. Somebody needs to validate me. Okay, but that is all that we have for now. We'll catch you next week.